Hi guys, and welcome back to my Minecraft Let's Play. Today, we are going to be working on something special. Something that we've been putting off doing for a long time. That being, decorating my house. And a couple other things, but mostly decorating the house because it has been an empty shell for far too long. Also, what the fudge? I hear a goddamn traitor. And they're so annoying. I know some people like them, but they can be so obnoxious. Where is the... There you are. Like, what the frig? Just leave. No one wants you here. But yeah, today we're going to be working on the inside of the house because a lot of these rooms are empty and I want to fix that. Again, there's no shelves, no books, nothing. It just feels, well, vacant for lack of a better term. And I want to fix that and, you know, add some personality to this place. Because the outside has loads of personality going on. Inside, not so much. So we're going to work on rectifying that today. But it's not the only thing we're going to be doing today on our to-do list. We're also going to be doing another thing, which is building grinding wheels. Which, now that we have a brass smelter, whoa, wrong button, we can do relatively easily by being able to make crafters. And again, we can get quartz by doing a variety of things. If we go through the crafting recipes. Luckily with our haunter, we can turn amethyst shards into these, so we have a source of quartz. And not a small source, so we can make it work. But with that being said, yeah, we're going to be building a grinding station and a washing station, because having that as an option is very much important. One of the reasons I want the grinding station, though, is for getting XP, because if we just go here, crushed, when we put iron in here, we get a chance, a very decent chance, for nuggets of experience. Regularly mining iron, you wouldn't get that. Smelting it, you would, but since I use a auto smelter, I don't get this. So, this is the way we're going to get ourselves XP. So we can finally fill this thing up a bit more and get into enchanting and getting myself some proper tools that I can refill relatively easily. But that is the plan, because eventually I want to make myself a obsidian hammer, but I want to get mending first, so that way I can make it and not have to, you know, repeatedly build a new hammer. Because again, I use a lot of stone ones. But we'll see. This is a process that we will have to slowly but surely get ourselves into. But we have a haunter, so we have the quartz already ready to go inside. So yeah, I'll get to that and it will be amazing. The washing station is just for things like making myself some obsidian, I believe you can make it with it. Let me just check. Yeah, by putting magma blocks through this, I could get that. I also have a... wow. That's cool. But yeah, again, I just need these kind of things, and I'm thinking maybe like the wash station here. I haven't picked a location for the grinder. I just need to first get the materials. Speaking of materials, I have been mining materials like... wrong chests. I've been mining materials like crazy. Filling up these chests so that way I could have all I need for building. So, yeah. To say I've been busy is an understatement, considering not even half of these were full. So, yeah. I am excited, but I should talk to the villagers before I get too ahead of myself. Because, honestly, I'm curious what they're up to. And, yeah. Ah, you two are finally out of your house. What you guys up to? You ready for a mining trip, sis? Yep, ready to go. And get those materials we need. Fair enough. Alright, well, I'll leave those two to it. I also finally got around to changing these from oak to dark oak just to match the other posts. And it looks amazing. Huh. Well, that's new. Well, people are out and about, so we'll see. What can I get for you, good sir? Could I get a meatball stick, please? I see. Well, that's interesting. Rather interesting indeed. But, yeah. Is it true humans would normally never let us near... It is true, humans would normally never let us near their village, but these ones seem different. This place is strange. Humans normally not treat us so well. Alright, interesting. I guess they're visitors. Hello, do you by chance have any fabric for sale? Why, yes I do. In fact, I have quite a variety of fabrics available for purchase. Okay, people are doing business. Things are going smoothly around here. For once. Hopefully that stays that way, but knowing my luck. So yummy. Maybe I should get more. I see. Just meatballs galore. But, yes. Alright then. I also have plans to... I may do it in this episode, may not, expand the greenhouses underneath the earth. Just so we have more composting material. But that's just a thought, not a guarantee. Because again, I want to have the option for more sugarcane, for example. Just so that way I can, you know, have enough paper for whatever I need. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe the grinding setup over here. Or maybe, you know, somewhere over here. We'll see. Again, I'll build the grinding machine, then build the building around it. Is the plan, at least for now. But I gotta do a lot of work. Like, I gotta build a mechanism, which is gonna require me, you know, risking materials for that. But luckily, I have been mining like crazy, as you saw. So I have an absolute buttload of gold, iron, copper. So I'm not too worried about that. And I have some gemstones, too, that I plan to display in my build somewhere. But let me just show those off real quick. Alright. Gems. As you can see, I'm not really lacking material. So, yeah. I've been busy mining. That was just me taking the odd pieces here and there. Not really, you know, putting my heart into it. So, you know, mining is mining. With that being said, we'll just get into it, and I'll be back momentarily with the finished results. Bop, bop. And we're back. And I'm ready to show you what I did, which isn't a lot. I'll admit it. It's probably, you know, not crazy. But I think I really like how the inner decorating went. Which, honestly, worked pretty well, in my opinion. Got a little armor stand, well, not armor stand, but weapon rack. Decided to move the podium, not the podium, the lectern here, which honestly I think really adds nicely. Put some gemstones out on display. Decided to swap out the table for this, because honestly I really like the look of this better. And honestly, there was no nice way of making the table look good and the chairs together without it making it look like tiny or bloated. I also added a couple items here and there. Again, I really do need to play around with the cooking part of, you know, Farmer's Delight, but we'll get to that eventually. We also decorated in here, as you can see. Made it feel like a bit of a library. Added a couple items here and there, like the shards and such. Again, another, you know, geode of quartz. Which, honestly, we got around to making the grinding thing, which I will get to in a bit. But, yeah. Got all of this. Pretty simple stuff. It's nothing too crazy, but it looks bright and it fits in. And I also sort of made this a little smaller so it fits well within the kitchen without being intrusive. Which honestly I think the, like, if branching out here was a bit much. But now it feels, you know, restrained a bit better. I put also another table. I didn't decorate inside these two rooms because, again, I didn't have any great inspiration, and I might later on, but right now, I just want to leave them empty. I made myself some copper armor, which honestly looks pretty snazzy in my opinion. And it's pretty decorative, but it's awesome. It looks good. Ooh, excuse me. Up here, I did a little bit of like a living room area, chilling out and basic stuff. Made another plant pot, which is very simple when you put a regular plot on top of a vase. Again, it's a little, you know, excess, but I'm fine with it. Forgot to get rid of this. Let's just move that out of there. Made myself like a little, you know, armory of sorts. And up here, did I do anything up here? Yes, I did. I made like a little potion brewing and observatory, which I think is kind of cool. Especially with the little telescope and like out the window. It really looks kind of cool. And the fact that I can kind of turn off the lights. But yeah, basically a little potion brewing setup and other things like that. Had some books here and such. But yeah, nice little armory for, you know, fun weapons and tools. I will fill it out eventually. Decided to put myself a nice little, you know, set of iron armor here. Lighted up the place properly, which is very much important. Decided to actually fill out my room and move the ladder that goes up to the attic, which is still empty, but it's probably going to stay that way. And made myself a pretty snazzy bedroom, honestly, all things considered. Little jar here. Diamond sword over, like, the doorway, which is kind of cool. I don't know what I'll put here in this armor stand, but we'll see. Made myself a little, you know, vivarium, I think it is what it's called. Put it out here. Pretty kind of cool. I also expanded underneath my house a bit, at least a storage area, which eventually I will fill out more with, but for now, it is going to stay relatively empty until I've gotten the necessary gold and or iron, which I now have a way of generating, which we'll get to momentarily. Because I finally got to a very cool crate add-on that originally was just for the blocks, I'm not going to lie, that would add on and make it easier to get orchrum and crimsonite and like other such stone types. But we'll just quickly go down there and you'll see for yourself. Because we got to go down deep into the mine. But yeah. Just a sec. Okay. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Because I began digging out a very large area where I'm going to be putting some of my more industrial type creations, which I just don't think I need on the surface. Which, again, it's not too crazy to build, but what we have here is my stone generators. And basically, they generate a fair variety of stones. We got, you know, pretty much every type. Which, again, some of these were built first and others were built afterwards. And I can speed it up if I want to. I just don't need the stone generating at, like, a crazy rate right now. So I have it on, like, 5. Because, yeah. I could go faster, but I just don't need it. But as you can see, it's a pretty simple system. If anyone's ever seen a cobblestone generator, it's very basic. And yeah, each one of these is just a molten metal, which I made and then put into the top. And made myself a nice generator. And the reason I say that it's a metal generation as well is, just a sec, crushed stuff can be made with crimsonite for iron, orchrum for gold, and just a sec, of course this is the one that's like, it's different, verdium for copper, and crushed raw zinc is simply, let's see, where is it? Yes, azurine. Sadly, there's just no crushed silver option that I'm aware of. Unfortunate. But that's just how it goes. But yeah, it basically means I can turn this thing up to like 50 and it just starts generating like crazy. Actually, I don't even know the upper limits of this thing because I have a fair few water wheels, but basically, boom. It just speeds up the process, and I have loads of stuff that I can throw in there. And even though it's only like a 40% chance for, like, let's say the iron, I can just, you know, speed this along and build enough stockpiles where it doesn't really matter. It's infinite generation, so it's not really a, well, relevant problem for me. So, the only real gemstones I have to really work for are diamonds and, like, the other ones. So, yeah, let's just turn this back down, because we don't need it at that level. And boom. There we go. Simple, basic generation, which we'll take some of this stuff up and I'll demonstrate. It's pretty simple in terms of getting other resources too, like gunpowder. I don't have to get creepers. Just have to have a lot of rosin. So let's just throw that up there and into there. And we'll go back up and see the washing system and the crusher, which are both very useful. But, yeah. It's pretty basic stuff. You know what? I'll just do this. It's way faster. Why is it dark out? You know what? I'm fixing this by going to sleep quick. My inner OCD refuses to... But yeah, also there's nothing in this room. It's just currently empty. Alright, sleep time. Okay. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Alright. And boom. Close those doors behind me. And, okay. Where is everybody? Maybe I'm just not seeing them? Oh. Huh. That's concerning, but I guess... Am I going to regret giving the goblin a free range? So, are you new to this village as well? Yes, I'm rather surprised. No one has harassed us yet. If by some miracle this is the normal state of things, we might stick around here long term. It would be nice to have a more permanent home, especially since covens of witches seem to be vanishing with little trace. Okay, that's the third group that I've heard of, you know, missing people. Just, you know, falling off the face of the earth. Okay, well, okay. What are you guys up to? You little... So, what are everyone's thoughts on settling in here, this village? For me personally, I can see some challenges for us, but they are manageable. Me thinks we should stay here. There's lots of good food and people are nice. What about you? One day is hardly. I'm not sure personally. I have many doubts to say the least. One day is hardly enough time to see if this place is a good place for the tribe to settle in. Ugh, I cannot read. Cannot read to save my life. I think this is as good as we are likely to find, and if we don't like it, we can always leave. But some of us will soon have to lay eggs, and we won't be able to travel once they have. I must agree, having shelter to lay our eggs in would be much better than out in the wilderness with who knows what dangers. Fair enough. Alright then. How's the settling in been going for you, Selena? Oh, it's been going wonderful, in fact. I'm thinking of opening a shop. Okay. Well, that's good to see, but I got distracted. I got sidetracked. Anyways, to the grinding machine. But, yeah. I do plan to eventually make more contraptions down in the basement that like a second grinding machine, maybe. Like, I could speed this one up, because I have the system for it. But I'd like to have, like, multiple options. So, yeah. As you can see, standard basement affair. Oh yeah, boom, boom, I forgot. Basically, just throw this stuff in there, and it will begin the process of grinding it all up and making us some lovely resources like just now. But yeah, it means that I can build with a more consistent, like, palette. There are some blocks like limestone I'm gonna have to mine for, but just taking that number down is always a good thing. I also made the washing plant, which is basically just the same as the gosh darn smelting one. It's just with water. It's not that very complicated, but yeah. I'm just washing these because you can occasionally get resources from them. Like quartz from gold. So yeah. Anyways. I'm gonna go dump these in my, chest some other time. But that's just a lot of nuggets of gold. Or in this case, copper. That means I can use iron tools more efficiently, which honestly I've been looking forward to. Originally it was just for the blocks, but now having the full-on option to use otherwise is very nice. But as you can see, I've been, getting the necessary metal, because I want to build gold copper more and other materials. And now I have, like, the resources to do it feasibly. But that is all I have time for today, I'm afraid. As, yeah, we got a lot done. I'm kind of proud of myself for that. Of course it's raining when I do this, but, yeah, next episode, I'm not really sure what we'll get up to next. Maybe I'll make some more creations down in the basement. Maybe I'll work more in the village. Not really sure. But if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time on my Minecraft Let's Play series. Bye!